lab is my boss.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why my mic always falls. Ah, my God. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Lab After Dark. I'm your host. You're colorful. It's too much. Yeah, buddy. We're in the holiday spirits. 35 likes, 77 people. Come on. If there's really half the people that are watching this stream that don't like it, please tune out right this second. Not going to say anything about your favorite creator, no matter how dreaded their hair is. I don't give a shiznit. You can just go right now. Move on. Go frig off somewhere else. I don't care. Okay, there we go. All right. People are, you got to like the stream. I mean, you don't have to, but, all right. So here we are. Lab After Dark. Welcome. It's good to see everybody. It's almost Christmas time. The sooner we do this, the sooner we can get the hell out of it. No. I've been watching, Linda and we've been watching a lot of Trailer Park Boys. A donation has been made in my name to the Human Fund. Thank you. Thank you. We've been watching a lot of Trailer Park Boys, but, by the way, I thought that you handled yourself on your show incredibly well. It was a heartbreaking thing to witness, but I feel like that I felt that it was necessary. Not that my opinion matters. I do think that that Brandy, God bless her soul, is strong. And I don't want to play any of it because it just went up, but I would at some point, if you have not, head over there after this stream or during, whatever, and check them out. Check out Missing Pacific Northwest Crimes Revisited. They had a fantastic show tonight. And so, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I couldn't confront the suspect of my son's disappearance like that. Yeah, she's tough. She's tough, man. I tell you that, Brandy Vaughan now. We all kind of started to know who she was, when she was Brandy Neal. Now she's Brandy Vaughan, and which was a wonderful thing as well. So maybe we will show some of that here in a bit. I won't play the whole thing. Really quick here. Let's see here. There was one thing that I wanted to show really quick. Actually, I think there was two, but let me show you this really quick. Does anybody remember in 2006 that scandal where I think it was a bunch of guys on the lacrosse team. They had for Duke lacrosse, very, rich kids that played lacrosse at a very high end school. They had some sort of bachelor party. And Jovi, thank you so much for gifting. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And Lucy in the Sky, good to see you. And I saw it. No, you were not late. Yeah, so I think it was at least three boys were accused of a sex scandal that they had assaulted. I believe it was a hired stripper. And she had all these different kind of stories that weren't matching up. And they thought that maybe they should perjure her, and they didn't because for whatever reason, I don't know why she didn't face perjury charges. However, she just the other day came out and admitted that she testified against these guys, and fabricated this story. So it says Crystal Mangum, the woman who falsely accused three Duke men's lacrosse players of the R word in 2006, admitted she lied about the allegations and asked David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Selgimans for forgiveness. And she made her confession in an interview published Wednesday on Let's Talk with Kat, hosted by Katrina D. Pasquale at the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women. Wait. She's in prison for murder? She killed her boyfriend in 2013? Oh my God. I had no idea. I didn't read this story. That took a twist. I got to tell you, I was not expecting that. That came out of nowhere. I got to be honest with you. Wow. I was like, why are they interviewing her at this? They were interviewing her at this women's institution. I was like, when they said at North Carolina, I thought they were talking about like the college. I was like, oh, North Carolina and Duke. Yeah. They're rivals. No, she's in prison for killing her boyfriend. Breaking news. You'd think that they would lead with that. Hey, remember the lady that falsely accused the three Duke men? The one that's in prison for killing her boyfriend? I know there's no proper way to... Exactly. I don't think you get more time. I think she's probably in there. I know, with her level of integrity, I know that's right. I can't believe she would do such a thing. Holy sheesh. Well. In case if it comes back to you, you're dirty. Well, look, this is what an absolute. I had no idea. Oh no. It's interesting. Let's see. I testified falsely against them by saying that they R'd me when they didn't, and that was wrong. We agree. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. I agree. The trust of a lot of people, well, I don't know if people believed in you or not, but Magnum said in the interview, I made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. I don't even know what that means. Validation from people? How do you get validated for making up a story like that? What up, Melly? Then, NC Attorney General did not prosecute Magnum for perjury after the case was dismissed, saying at the time. But the thing is, you can't unring this bell. Most people aren't going to hear about this. Everybody hears about it when initially. That's why retractions to me are useless. That's why when somebody goes and say, "Hey, I lied about this person," nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear about the then and now, the juicy, not the real story. That's what happens in these situations, and it happens all the time. You cannot take this back. I don't care what she says. Every time I see a photo of those three guys, you go, yeah, remember those troublemakers? Even though they didn't do anything, the case was dismissed. You know, and I was one of those guys, like, I didn't know what to think. I remember the story vividly. And now, you know, just, this is crazy. I mean, she was very, very inconsistent with her accusations. And, you know, look, I shudder at the fact of downplaying anybody's accusations, but like when things like this happen, it really just makes you take a step back that, I mean, this could happen to anybody at any time. I'm sure she's locked down forever. So it says the case brought against Evans, Finnerty, and Seligman surrounded the events of March 13, 2006. Mangum alleged that the three players argued her at a team house where they paid to have two strippers, including Magnum, in attendance. The allegations triggered widespread national response from the media, which spent months on and around the Duke. And, you know, because she's black, they're white, then it starts this big old racial divide again for no reason, none at all. And I'm sure Jesse Jackson showed up. We have done this in view of the situation where now Broadhead said a press conference following. That's what I'm saying. Like, so how is it that they are going to unring this bell? These guys will forever be linked to this. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone remembers the accusations. They never remember the retraction. The retractions go on the back page. For some reason, I don't know how that's an acceptable apology. Nothing that she could do, even going to prison for this, which she's already in prison for killing her boyfriend. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't read the book yet. I didn't know. I just found out 45 seconds ago. Some of you may have known. I don't know. The coach, yes, that's right. The coach got fired as well. I mean, it's an absolutely baffling story. And nobody's talking about it. Like, very little, I don't say nobody, but not a lot of people. But when this went down, this is all anybody talked about. And, you know, these guys were convicted in the eyes of millions of people around the country and around the world. It's crazy. It's sad, man. I tell you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I had heard stories about those guys, and look, lacrosse players, Ivy League kids, they're all kind of jerk offs at some point, but you know, it's one thing to be a jerk off and then to be accused of sexually assaulting somebody. I mean, that is a huge, huge gap. And it's disgusting. It's just, I'm just shocked by it. Yeah, the world did. They were convicted, and let me see. What is the so PNW Crimes Revisited? You don't mind if I just play, if I at some point play a little bit of that, because that was intense. And I'll send everybody your way to make sure to check that out, because that was something. It's the Michael Vaughan case, a case that, you know, I've been following for years and years, it feels like. Did she say why she did it? Yes, she said that she wanted validation from people, but not from God. That's what she said. Let me just make sure that I'm quoting her. Mangum said in the interview, I made up the story. That wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. I don't know what that means. If anybody could tell me what that means. Cat H, yes. I just and I know that, you know, if we can throw a missing PNW Crimes Revisited link in the chat, they have covered this case so well. I watch you guys all the time, and you just do fantastic work, and I think more people need to check you guys out. So thank you for that. Just as a reminder to everyone, add her to the pick of the boys. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even know what she looked like. You showed me if you showed me those lacrosse players, I would have been like, yeah, I know who those guys are. And I didn't even remember that the case was dismissed. Didn't matter at that point. I mean, it mattered legally, but it doesn't matter, you know, like when you put somebody on trial for murder and they get off, you know, there's still always going to be kind of a swirl, you know, of, well, you know, maybe, unless you're OJ. Everybody knows OJ did it. Everybody knows. Everybody. Even OJ knows OJ did it. This is why saying believe every conviction isn't so. One must wait to hear the story, see the evidence. Yeah, I mean, wow. Let me see. One more, and then I want to. Last night, Indiana, they executed a man, a quadruple murderer in 1997. He killed his brother, sister's fiance, and two others. And he'd been, since 99, he'd been on death row. And so it was the first time in, I don't know, 13, 15 years since that they had executed anybody. The guy's final words, and see, this is where, you know, and I know that there are people that are like, well, look, capital punishment's not my thing. I don't believe in it. I think it's, you know, why does killing somebody teach some people that killing is wrong, so on and so on and so on. I don't know. I can't, there's a lot of mixed feelings about that kind of thing, you know, about the death penalty and stuff. I will tell you this, that when you commit such a horrendous act, it's really, really difficult to forget, like when you have to be on the end of forgiving somebody for something like that. I don't know. It just seems unheard of. But anyway, they executed him. But here's the crazy thing, right? So you get your last meal, whatever I think it's basically whatever you want, including like lobster and steak. And I think, and I've thought about what my last meal would be, and we've had that conversation here, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I will tell you this. You get the meal, you get the phone call, you get everything, you get all that stuff, and you get your final words. Okay, so this man was convicted. I believe he's admitted to it, all that stuff. Corn dogs, I probably would, if I could get more than one entree, I would probably choose a corn dog. But here was his final words. So obviously they strap you to the gurney. You're probably, obviously it doesn't matter who you're, most people just get out of their minds. And you might want to take that time to say something along those lines of, well, I'm sorry. I apologize to my victims. Just, something. Just a little something, right? He said, they asked him, they said, your final words, and he says, let's get this over with. Yikes. I don't know. I mean, you got a chance, to apologize. Sorry for the victims. I'm sorry to my brother. I'm sorry I killed my brother. Just something. Not let's get this over with. Like it's a like it's a wrestling match or something. It makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I heard he was schizophrenic and I don't know. I have heard that. I don't know. That didn't stop them from executing him, I tell you, but wonder what Koberger will be. Mommy help me. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, the state of Indiana executes their first inmate in. Jeez. Why apologize if it's not real? I don't know. Humor somebody. I don't know. I guess if you're not remorseful, but I'm just saying that's to me, that's like cold. It's just really cold-blooded, cold-hearted. I mean, let's just get this over with. Okay, so even if say if he's going to the grave, going, you know what, I didn't do this. You're gonna kill me because I'm an innocent man. So on and so on and so on. Even if all that transpired, and he's saying, but can't you at least say, I didn't do this, but I'm really sorry for the victim. I don't know. I'm sorry for the victims. I'm sorry to my brother. I'm sorry to my sister whose future husband I killed. And, Yeah, and he was even suspected of killing his own parents, but I don't know, whatever happened there. Yeah, nothing. That's what I'm saying. That one juror matters. That's what I'm trying to say is that like there's no recourse for that kind of an apology. It's just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know what you do. Even throwing somebody in prison, like that might make the people feel better, but that does not. I mean, as a whole, it doesn't restore your reputation, and you have to go around person by person. Oh, I could eat. If you talk, look, dude, this is the last meal you're going to get, fat boy. I'd be like, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, we've heard him. We've heard him. Let me see. Let me bring this up here.
The search for Michael Vaughan.
Oh, wow. This went on a while. How long did this go on for? When did that guy get up there? Holy crap. I could respect that a little bit more for sure. I do not, under any circumstances, and I'm not even telling you what my thought on the death penalty is, but I'll tell you this. If you've ever heard of a man named Tommy Lynn Sells, and you listen to that man talk, and you listen to what that man has done, and you listen to his cold, calculated, weird way of talking and looking at you with his beady little eyes and his, golly gee shucks, oh my lordy, oh Lord, I don't know, bullshiz. And if you think that the death penalty wasn't created for people like him, I don't know what to tell you. Check out Tommy Lynn Sells. Guy is disgusting. And he got executed. And nobody should ever feel bad about it. Personally. That's my personal thought. All right, Michael Vaughan. He's something else. So Michael Vaughan, 5-year-old boy, missing Fruitland, Idaho. Brandy was at work, and who's the mother, and Tyler, the father, was changing the little child. Michael goes missing, and I don't know, was it like a year or so later? Yes, he was the coast to coast killer, right? And there turned up 4 suspects through the investigation. Really weird lifestyle going on in the house. That, you had Stacy and Sarah married, but Sarah was banging 4 Eyes, and then trying to knock. Just even to relive the going back over it sounds insane. Brandon Scherfly, or whatever his name is. Stacy can't have kids because he got his balls smashed by. He got his nuts smashed by riding a bull. No, dude did not ride a bull. I'm telling you right now. I don't know. Maybe the bull rode him, but I'm telling you right now, dude. I remember when he said it all cross-eyed. He's all, Stacy can't have kids because a bull smashed his nuts. That's exactly how he said it, too. You're like, great, dude. It's awesome. Dad, Stacy. He was the worst. He's all in the hot tub chugging Coors. The reason I was banging Sarah is because Stacy got his nuts squashed by a bull. That's what I'm not even kidding. That's what he said. So Stacy, let me bring up these guys really quick. All right. So here is, so we have Adrian Lucen, Brandon Shirtliff, Stacy Wandra, Sarah Wandra. Okay, so these 2 are married, and it's believed that these are the people that I mean, Stacy all but admitted to it. Oh yeah, I interviewed him too. Yeah, it's gnarly. I interviewed him with Justin, and the whole thing was bizarre. Yeah, that's what he said. That's what apparently Brandon was doing Stacy and Sarah a solid by sleeping with Sarah while Stacy slept in the front room chugging milk or something along those lines. Guy loves milk. I don't know why. He just does. He's a big milk drinker. And that's a fact. Guy loves milk. Does anybody remember that? Remember how much he just loved drinking milk? He is. He was obsessed. He's like, I love milk. It's my favorite drink. Stacy loves milk because a bull smashed his nuts. I got to find that. I'm telling you right now. We're on Union time. Let's see here. I hate those guys. I hate those guys so much. I can't stand them. Let's see here. Exclusive interview with Brandon Shirtlift. Oh no. Let me see if I can find this. Stacy's nuts got smashed by a bull. This is my favorite. Stacy, is it true that your nuts got smashed by a bull, you loser? No, my nuts didn't get by a bull. That's a lie. I just told law enforcement that so they'd leave me alone.
Jonathan Lee Rich's
True, or if it was just hearsay.
So he's accusing her of hitting her with a dog.
The car we were towing. And then right as soon as that happened, I went out and tried to look for the kid with.
And you told me you never see Michael Vaughan before in your life prior.
Right. I never met
it's
him
so
or his
long.
parents
Hi.
ever before. I just know
Let's
that they're
see.
neighbors of where I was staying over there with the Wanderers. They live like diagonal.
Yeah. What about the okay. Yeah, I got so many questions. All right. So Adrian, where's he from?
I think he's from California somewhere.
So but how did he get up there? Like how did he end up there in Idaho?
He just flew in
I really want
for
to
a little bit of grief, and he was like, you know what, I can go work somewhere else or be part of somebody else. I don't have to sit here and take your guys. So they're like, okay. And then from there, it's just been kind of like they hit me hard, and I told them everything I know, and then I was in trouble with those guys before stuff, whatever they did in their life before. I don't even know, but yeah, they said that they went to their house and asked Mr. Carson Starkey and his mother that was hanging out there, and they questioned Dorothy, his ex-wife, that she can't really hear that good. She has to write everything down on paper and what she heard or seen or knows or anything like that. So I know that they've been there. I know they dug up the yard, and it's a big case. Big
case. Great. So for some reason he's in a hot tub talking to JLR.
thing here.
So you've been so now you've been Googling around following this case?
Yeah, and yes, sir. And then I seen your YouTube that you put out this morning, you know what I mean? And my picture right next to those guys, and that's when it really started to hit home. And I was like, I got to find everything I can do to help. I don't even care about me and my freedom anymore. I need to figure out what's going on here and stop the lying and bring the truth to everything that I can and help.
Yeah. Do you think, based off what you've been seeing, do you think any of the Vaughns are involved?
At first, my very first thought on all that, I thought, well, maybe just the mom and the dad got in a fight about custody, because I got in a fight with my ex before about custody, and I
Oh,
know how
Lucy,
that
thank you
can
so
go. So I
much.
thought it was just kind of like one of those things for the
Lucy says, thanks for coming on, Josh. Needed the company. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so
beginning.
much.
Just who gets who, and maybe the dad came and got the kid and took him to his house, and the mom got all mad and called the cops, and that's what I thought it was from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then my second thought from there is that he might have went missing. He might have went out from his neighborhood because he was trying to go play with other kids like that.
One of the craziest things was when all this stuff was going on, these guys were doing their interviews, and Stacy, who would he would message me on Messenger all the time, like, I hope you're happy. Now I'm going to go to prison. He's like, and I didn't even do anything. And he's like, but could you help me with $100 or something like that? I'd be like, what the no, dude, go away.
Age, and he might have got out in that field and went too far down. There's that Snake River right there by the Ontario-Idaho border right there. So I said, I hope he didn't fall in there and didn't know how to swim, or if he swam to the other side and got lost, or who found him, or what, because there's a million bazillion possibilities that could happen right here.
Yeah.
Nah, not really.
Inside the Wander house, what does it look like inside there?
It's just a regular, like,
Is there? I mean, is it hidden?
I got to hear this.
And went back to the couch, played PS4, and drank some beers and went to bed.
I think I saw a photo of you sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main spot where I hung out, is just answered phones off the couch and went and drove taxis and went back to the couch, played PS4. And
I know that, like, taxi drivers, it's not like if Stacy Wander showed up in a taxi to pick me up, I'd probably just walk.
Drank some beers and went to bed.
Who else was in that house that you've seen when you were there? Like anyone else that we haven't named that was inside that house ever?
Where's the part where he talks about getting his nuts smashed?
I think there was like
that's my favorite
three or four people at least when I was there that came there. And this one guy, he got in trouble for like a BB gun and some knives or something like that. He went outside the house because him and another person other than Tanner got in a fight with Sarah about staying in the house and God and religion and all that. And he went cruising around the neighborhood, and he had like some kind of a knife deal. And he was threatening that if he doesn't get to come back in the house, then he's going to like slice some people up or do this and that.
What's his name?
I'm not quite sure on that. It was just some guy that was kind of walking the streets of Ontario.
And they brought him to the house.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he was like a homeless guy in Ontario that they met one day, and they just brought him back to his house.
Interesting. It does seem like it goes into a pattern of them just.
It happened like that. You know what I mean? Just people that you don't even know who the hell they are. You know what I mean?
What were they all like? Would you all eat dinner together? With who cooked?
Yellow Jackets.
Like, did everybody fend for themselves?
No, Sarah. We'd go out shopping, Sarah and I, and then we'd come home and she'd cook a nice meal.
It's so weird that Stacy and Sarah are married, and then they got this dude living on the couch, allegedly, but they would do everything like as a couple. They were like a throuple, it felt like. It's disgusting.
For Stacy and I and her.
Will you have sex with my wife? My nuts got smashed by a bull.
And whoever was over there for a guest, that was the usual behavior.
There's no friggin' way. There's no friggin' way.
Behavior.
Did Sarah use profanity?
She tried not to, but when she got really super mad about her house
like
not been
else.
Just
others, or mad at herself?
No, mad at others.
Because like Stacy, have you seen them arguing with each other?
Yeah, almost every day. She'd go around and he'd be making messes, and she'd be cleaning it up and getting after him, trying to whap him with a pot and a pan, just like, you son of a bitch, clean your shit up or get gone.
So you've seen her hit him with pots and pans?
Well, she didn't actually hit him, but if
right.
I would have been her, hit him, because sometimes he makes messes and he just don't care, and he's kind of like a little pig in a pig pen, just kind of really.
I mean, I've seen pigs.
Sloppy.
Did you ever see her actually hit him or him hit her?
No.
Yeah.
No, they never did that when I was there. They were just like, they just
They'd have never done that when I was there. He's still recovering from getting his nuts smashed by a bull.
talk back and forth, kind of getting like, oh, I love you, little Boo Bear. I love you, little Boo Bear. And
I love you, little boo.
they'd be back and forth. And they were just like jokesters, kidsters.
I don't know.
Did she actually try to hit on you, or is that true or no?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she liked me. She was trying to get at me pretty good there for a long time. And I said, hey, listen, you're married. You know what I mean? We can't even be on the same couch chilling together doing this and that. And I'm not going to give you and Stacy a kid. And I'm not going to do that.
So he claimed that he was supposed to knock her up.
I'll help you guys do taxi. And other than that, I'm going home. And that's what made him mad.
She actually said she wanted you to give them a kid.
Well, she said that before, and like when they were hanging out in Vegas, living in Vegas, that she said that
I think the nut smashing part's coming up.
she tried to do that with somebody else before, and they wanted to know if I'd be able to do that for them. And I said, yeah, probably not.
Interesting. What were they doing in Vegas?
I don't think I've ever heard JLR laugh.
I think they just went over there and they had some friends or doing taxis over there.
I think Stacy might have a sister or a relative that lives in Vegas. You know anything about that?
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
So
I know that.
No, go.
Yeah, I know. Stacy is out, and I heard what he said, that like if there's people out there that want to slander us, Stacy, I'll slander you all day long. I mean, it's the truth. If you're gonna sue somebody, you can come sue me. Like I said, I tell people all this. I don't have anything. So, but you're a piece of shit, and I can't, like, it bothers me that Brandy even talked to you. You're a terrible human, and you're a liar, and we all know it. And you would never want to go under oath on the stand in the deposition because you're a lying sack of shit.
Go ahead.
I know that they went over there and they did like a long distance taxis. That's like how they made their best money, because instead of like hundreds of dollars, it goes to thousands.
That was my birthday, unfortunately.
Of dollars. So
Yeah.
that's how they make their better money traveling across country.
Yeah, because right after, okay, for one other question about you. So you done no
Thank you.
sexual stuff with Sarah ever?
Well, at one time or
Here we go.
another, we were just
Sexual stuff with Sarah ever?
Well, at one time or another, we were just kind of like hanging out, laying on a mattress. She was trying to make out with me, this or that, and kind of like fill me up a little bit. And I said, whoa, 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 slow down. You're already married, you know? So from there, that was about as far.
Well, there was that one time when we slept together.
So she's
Little
doing this while she's playing the God card, religious card.
Right.
Hurry up. I want to play Mary Magdalene for Halloween.
Yeah.
And
That's why I don't like religion. It puts a bad taste in my mouth and others. It's like, you can't do stuff like that if you're going to pretend like you're holier than thou.
Something that was like, I promise you, I'm not making fun of him. I mean, maybe I am, but why the top of his hair looks really frizzy. Like it doesn't match the sides. Something, it's weird.
You know?
yeah. Now,
And I mean, he is just going to town.
do you know anything about their trip to Texas? In like around, I guess, a couple months after Michael Vaughan went missing, they went to Texas.
No, sir. I know nothing about that recent. Now, I do recall them saying something about that previously, where Sarah lived in Texas with another man.
Okay.
Now, I don't know nothing about that, but I know it was kind of like not a good deal.
Yeah, while all this was going on, that same night, a guy called into the show, or that showed up in the chat, and it turned out to be Sarah's ex-husband. And he called into the show, and I remember asking him if she had ever brought up to him about kidnapping somebody, not a kid specifically, but he said yes, that she had brought that up to him before, like how intense it would be to kidnap somebody or something like that. I'd have to play it again, but it's just wild stuff.
So it's my belief that Sarah was once married prior to Stacy.
Yes, and that's the guy that I talked to.
I
Yes,
believe it was to a last name of a guy named Chambers.
Yep, that might be him.
Ricky Chambers, I believe.
That's right.
Yep, I think that sounds right.
So he does have ties to Texas and Arkansas and Oregon. So maybe that's why she was there. I don't
Maybe.
know. Did she ever talk about her ex-husband?
She talked about him a couple times about like how she wanted to get out of there, and then he got mad one time and kind of locked her in a room, and they were fighting way back in the day before I knew her. That's all I heard about it.
When and where did Stacy get married to, or Stacy and Sarah get married? Where?
That's the part
When
of the
and where?
nuts.
I think they got married somewhere in Montana, and just like not too much. They were only married for a year or two before I met Stacy, and then after that, he was like, "Hey, you want to come to my house and hang out and bring the barbecuer in and meet my wife?
Right.
And we'll have a good time." Like I think his grandpa taught him and instilled like some family values into him. So Stacy's a good guy when he don't lie, but he's got some kind of fetal alcohol syndrome, which prevents him from being normal.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
So what month and year did you meet Stacy?
I probably met him in like 2020 or 2019, something like that, a couple years back. And then I helped him with this. There was this other gentleman, his name was Labor Dave, and he had a lawn mowing business and furniture moving business. And that's where we met, is when I was a U-Haul driver and I helped go around and move everybody's furniture, me and him.
What
and
town was that in?
That was probably in like Boise, Idaho.
Okay, so you met him in Boise.
When he's not lying, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
According to his court stuff, he got out of jail or prison or jail in May of 2020.
What's up with the nut smashing?
Yep. So right, just a normal from there.
Like what we
Behavior, he'd try to be a businessman, but he tried to take on more than he could. He tried to this storage shed, and we're gonna move it all here. He's ready to go out and do that, scoop things up, and he'd be like, "Come on, guys."
Wow, interesting. Yeah.
He'd make you feel bad for the guy, and then you're like, well, shit, I'll give you a hand. And it's just he just never stops being. He's ambitious, but he can't do that much because he's overweight. So I tried to get him skinnier, and I tried to say, "Hey, let's go out and get out of the house, get off the couch, quit eating chips,"
Hey, Stacy, you're gonna have to quit eating chips here, buddy, because your wife wants me to plow her. I don't know how else to put it, and I don't want to do it.
You're gonna die soon. You're gonna freaking die if you don't quit eating, man. You got to get some exercise.
There's no chance that they had this conversation. Not a chance.
Your heart's literally gonna stop beating.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you.
And JLR's like, yeah, dude.
I saw, what he looks like and whatnot. What is his habits? Like, what does he like to do for fun?
That's a good thing you bring up there. He likes to just watch TV and eat junk food and not really do a whole lot of nothing other than talk on the phone. That's that.
Talk on the phone to who?
Whoever he can find that'll listen to him.
Interesting. Did he have an iPhone or an Android?
He had one of those iPhones, like a iPhone 12, 13, 14. He always loved his little iPhone.
Yeah.
Do you know if he had AT&T, Verizon? What phone network did he say he had?
I think he was with Verizon when he started his new company, and then he went with those guys, and then the bill got up in excess of $15,000-$20,000.
Wow.
And then from there, he couldn't pay it. And he said, "Oh, no, what do I do? Can you help me with my bills?" And I said, "Well, sure. Let's look at the bill. How big is it?"
I promise you we're going to get to tonight.
And you look at it and Stacy. Yeah. On more than he can handle. And this and that.
Kids.
Here we go. I think this
Did
is
he
it.
ever talk about
I think this is it.
And Stacy.
Yeah. Did he ever talk about kids?
Not really. Not usually, no. That's why this strikes me as strange. The only time that happened is like once or twice during the whole 1 or 2 years that I was there.
So they did bring up kids, okay.
And he's like, I'd like to have a kid for when I pass away, because it'd make my wife happy. Just like you guys are saying on your video or whatever. That is true. It's confirmed.
So the videos that I've put out that you've seen, what is not true that you've seen that you noticed that with me covering this case, what is not true?
The only thing that like upset me or kind of got to me a little bit is the whole part about me and my Montana friends or whatever. That's Guthrie Builders, and he does a good job. He builds houses and does siding and stuff. And me and him are great friends. We have been for years. But one day he got in a bad situation where someone was trying to take his life too, and he tried to steal one of my pickups that I owned. It was like a '01 Ford or something. And then from there, me and him got mad, but then we kind of put it behind us and we got past it a little bit.
Come on, where's the ball
But
nut?
now me and him are best friends, and we wish to build in the future and help the community out. And I just didn't want something like that coming in between it all.
Understandable. And have you watched my other videos about covering this case?
I don't know. I just seen the one that you put out today, this morning or whatever, and I honestly think it's pretty good. You do a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, I'm still suspect of you, but I still appreciate you speaking, and it puts more like you got nothing to hide, right? You got nothing to hide by sharing all Codic, but you will have.
Holy smoke!
Because there's
under my heart. You know what I mean? Like nephew, that's like the same age.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
So it's not just something that affects me a little. I need to tell who's lying and who's not, because he wants to be the cool guy, and because he has a low self-esteem because he's a bigger guy. And I love Stacy, I love Sarah, but I'm not proud about what they've done and what they do. And if they are involved, they need to come forward, and if they're not, we need to find out who really did do this, because it's not just something little.
Well said, Brandon. I appreciate the conversation. They fired that questions that people
so we
ask.
Gotta go back in time.
I try to think of as many questions as maybe
Tanner and Sarah got. Yeah, and even if there was any bit of a slight suspicion, they're just kind of like normal people that just have to do that, because I was and the shot back. Then I'm gonna go ahead and not rent this to you guys anymore. You know what I mean? And you haven't paid me for a little bit anyway, so things are not up to date on the payments. You guys, your contract has been terminated.
Interesting. Yeah.
No, it was him.
So what about the taxi business? Was that
still functioning? And it'd still be going today. I think they gave her bond, they were saying. So they're waiting to determine if any more evidence comes up, if she really did like threaten him with a gun, or if that was true. Yeah, he said that she smacked her with a dog bone and said, "Get out of my house right now or I'm calling the cops." And that's what started everything. And then right when that happened, me and her got in an argument as well. And I got my little van and I left and went home. And then I went back there and was hanging out with another friend. His name was, and he got in a crash with his motorhome. So they were trying to help him with that. From the crash, I went and got in arguments about who could drive the car, who couldn't, who could work, who couldn't. And it just became a big nightmare from there.
Interesting. Did they bring in like, it seems like they're just bringing people in because they want to help.
The biggest questions that was on my mind too is church, and they want to give people a place to sleep at night. So
Was Stacy religious?
He pretended to be, but he wasn't as like he believes in God, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't believe in like all the religious practices like most of the people. Yeah. But they went to church and they paid tithes and tried to help people and got money from the church to pay their bills, and they were with the church,
Interesting. Well, see, because people were saying about Sarah, right? Because they're saying right after Michael Vaughan went missing, then she starts making all these religious posts, like within a month after he went missing, and people are suspecting, is she trying to repent? Does she have a guilty conscience? Is she trying to deflect and try to thwart off anyone that's investigating her to act like she's religious? Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, I know that they always kind of like hid behind it, or they went with those kind of things. Like the whole time I was there, they just say, "Oh, we believe in God and doing good to the community, and it'll come back around." Kind of like a good charity worker and trying to report to me.
They couldn't have done it. Now let's go back to that day Michael went missing, right? So
yeah, to their house, and we came back over there, and then right as soon as we were getting the car back to the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood was on high alert looking for the little boy Michael Vaughan, and they said he went missing right that day earlier, right before we came in with the car we were towing. And then right as soon as that happened,
how convenient. The little Michael Vaughan goes missing just right about the time that they're running around town, doing shit.
I went out and tried to look for the kid with Sarah. We got in her.
No. You were looking for a kid. The person of interest that they showed the photo of when he was walking. You remember that? The black shirt, and everybody said, it's Tyler. It was him. It's him. I know it's him. For a fact, it's him. I can't tell you how I know. I just know. That's the person of interest that they put out. This guy was casing the neighborhood for a kid for Sarah. No question. I know it for a fact. He admitted that it was him. He admitted to law enforcement that it was him.
A little Toyota car and drove.
He was casing neighborhoods for children for Sarah. And it just so happened that, unfortunately, Michael Vaughan got out of the fence, unlocked the fence, and there were these predator creeps roaming the neighborhood.
Drove to the gas station and drove around after we got out of the pickup, and then tried to look in the field to see if he went down by the river or if he could be out just wandering lost. And, that's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right when we got back, Carson had his pickup next door with a light bar on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, we need to start this up and kind of go look in the neighborhood and the farmer field and the river. We got to go find this missing person report that just came out, So that's what was on my mind. That was earlier in the day after we woke up and had breakfast at the airport. He wanted.
All right, this guy, I'll have to find it another way, but let me play. I want to give some context here, just a little bit. Okay, so this is on Justin for All. 10 months ago. I can't believe it's been 10 months. So Justin, I guess he had an interview set up. I'm trying to remember this here, but I remember that Justin had an interview set up with Stacy. And Justin asked me if I wanted to come on and do the interview with him. I said no. Flat out, I said no. You asked Justin. I said, no, I don't want to do it. Not because I didn't have any interest or anything. I just didn't want to talk to the guy. And somehow, while I was watching, I was like, God, I just have to. Like, I couldn't. The invitation was there, so I did it. And I don't regret it, but it didn't really go that well. I mean, it went okay. But I'll play this for you for a little bit of context if you have not seen it.
Okay.
So Justin was talking to him for some time, for quite some time. Let me see, close to an hour before I showed up.
Seems like a lovely 2 different. There we go. This is what it's all about right here is Monkey Michael Vaughan. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hey Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
How are you?
Living the dream, brother. Living the dream.
I hear you.
You have any questions you want to ask Josh?
Oh, well, I kind of coming in halfway through here. Did you get to the interrogation part?
No, no, no. I've just been getting the story pretty much. That's about it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Of that day.
Where can I watch Brandy interviewing missing? It is on Missing Pacific Northwest Cases Revisited. I think we can put that in the chat as well. But I did. I had a problem.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go live again tomorrow. How long are we planning on doing this one today for? Because I literally just had to go back to the shelter.
Okay.
So I'm literally trying to get settled in, and they're getting rid of the service.
I thought he was leaving. At this point, I thought he was
dinner here probably in about 10 minutes.
Okay. We can.
So if that's okay, I'm obviously you see I'm committed. You know, I have
Sure,
nothing to hide. I'm not running. So
Okay.
I just don't want to make it seem bad to people. But like I said, I'm trying to get settled in. I've
Sure.
never been to this place before. So
Can you do another 15 minutes today?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do it. We can set up another one tomorrow as well. Okay. All right. So question here.
Ouch.
Let me find this right here.
Okay.
This is an interesting thing that Stacy said, and I wanted your comment on it. If I can pull it up. I got so many screens pulled up. It's an okay. All right. And this is from forget what news. I'm sorry, I don't got the source on me right now, but it says according to documents, police forced entry into Wandra's home around 9:30 p.m. Friday, where they found Sarah Wandra in the living room.
I'm telling you, I wish that I could find that. God dang it. I really wish I could find it. States couldn't have kids. Got his nuts crushed by a bull. He was riding a bull.
She was detained and read a copy of a search warrant. Quote, when I got to the portion that read murder, she said, quote, did you just say murder multiple times? End quote. A Fruitland police officer wrote in the affidavit, she also said, quote, I have never murdered anyone, end quote. Officials said Sarah Wandra maintained that she, quote, definitely did not kill that boy, end quote. That's her quote, not mine. And said, quote, the Most High God already told me who did it, end quote. She reportedly told police, quote, oh, wow, the Most High God.
Yes. So I think they got jammed up on another charge and I think they both got hit on gun charges or something like that. And then I can't remember if it was Stacy or Sarah, but basically they were trying to rat on each other about this to try to get a deal. Stacy wanted a deal and he just couldn't deliver what he had promised.
Just told me that
you'll hear a little bit about that here.
Stacy was the one who killed him and buried him in the backyard, end quote, the neighbor's house. When she asked later to show police where the boy was buried, according to the affidavit, she told police of a spot near the entry of the residence and said Stacy had buried him in the backyard, quote, in the backyard of the shed, end quote. Police said at that point they began to digging a portion of the Wanderer's yard based upon information, quote, received from Stacy, who had not yet been arrested or charged by Monday afternoon. It wasn't clear when or why police had spoken with Stacy Wandra. Do you know why she would say something like that?
I'm appalled. I have no clue. She's literally like gone cuckoo. Um, I'm a very high believer in God, and I believe in God strongly. And
High believer.
God wouldn't tell a lie. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I remember when I heard this, and I was like, all right, I can't listen to this shit. And I think this is where I become psycho.
God is very, you know, he
Well,
died on the
God
cross.
may not tell a lie, but humans will. Let me ask you this
That's
question
true.
really
That's
fast.
Go ahead.
I guess my question really is,
A drink.
what is it that you're
I was so annoyed.
trying to accomplish? I mean, you are a suspect in the case,
Mhm.
whether you know
Yes.
law enforcement has said that. What is it like? So you're doing I'm not saying you're doing rounds, but you're going on panels and stuff. Like, how is this going to help you? How is this going to help exonerate you?
It's not going to help exonerate me, but what it's doing is giving people my side of the story, because there's a lot of stories being told, but nobody's going to believe one person over the other. Reality is I'm still a suspect. And when it gets cleared by law enforcement, then people have a different view. But I want to personally tell people my side of the story, because I feel that's what I'm destined to do. Because I feel there's a lot of bullshit talk, there's a lot of crap talk about each and every one of us.
Mhm.
I'm just honestly going out there because I know what happened that night. I know that I know the whereabouts where I was. I know the whereabouts where Sarah and Brandon were. I don't see that. That's why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of questions regarding this.
Yeah,
Right.
but you don't have anything to offer as to where Michael is.
I don't. You're right, because I don't.
So what I'm saying is, like, and the point that, I mean, that should take 5 minutes to say.
He has taken a polygraph.
I did take a polygraph, and I was very well informed that I passed the polygraph by detectives, by the FBI, by my mom, who the detectives told. I was also told that Sarah and Brandon did not.
Have you told investigators anything that you haven't told the public? And if so,
Not at all.
why?
Not at all.
So your story that you're telling everybody is the exact same that you
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
told in the interrogations.
Exactly.
And to stop an interrogation, what you did, you said that Michael was in the yard. How does that, did that stop an interrogate? Did that actually stop it?
I haven't been interrogated since. I haven't heard from law enforcement. I haven't talked to law enforcement. I haven't heard a peep from
And
anybody.
so they dug up that entire yard, as we all saw. We watched them do it,
Mhm.
based on just you saying that he was buried in the yard to stop it.
Correct.
So you tricked law enforcement into doing that?
I guess if you want to put it that way, yes.
Well, I mean, that's against the law, right?
I mean, do you think?
So you very well, you could and probably should be charged with that. But and I'm not here to like trip you up or hang you or be mean to you or anything. But how is it that you can trick dogs into hitting on human decomp? You can't do that. You can trick the police, but you're not tricking dogs.
No, not at all. But
And the dogs did hit, correct?
Apparently that's what
There
I'm
were
being
supposed
told,
to be
yeah.
multiple dogs.
So
according to-
you told them that Michael was buried in the yard, and then, which you say is a lie, but then dogs hit on human
No,
decomp in that yard.
They hit before I told them that. That's why they questioned me.
So they hit before?
Correct.
So
But to prove my point that there was nothing back there, that's why I had them go dig it up. I knew there was nothing back there. I simply was very much so under pressure. I was being interrogated to the point of tears. I mean, for hours a day, for like 3 or 4 days. And honestly, I could not take it. It was killing me.
But I thought you said you gave them the tip.
I did give them the tip after they interrogated me.
If the dogs would have
but-
hit earlier, they would have just dug it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to understand.
That's what I'm
here.
saying. Like, so obviously
I mean, they wouldn't have known to search your house if
Right.
they hadn't had it, if you hadn't given them the tip.
That's what I'm saying. I told them.
You told them, and then the dogs hit, correct?
No.
Because the dog, if they hit on
dogs hit before, that's at least what I'm being told. That's what law enforcement told me. That's what detective
they would dig it up though. They would have dug it up if dogs would have hit. Just not so they didn't. They dug it up because you said Michael was buried in the yard.
Correct.
Okay, but
then they bring the dogs out there to confirm that hey, there is human there is they're hitting out here. So then they dig it up.
All I know is I told them that fable. That's what I told them. I don't know anything further than that.
And you can see how that's going to be hard for people to understand.
I do, absolutely.
Because I mean that's a lot to tell. I mean, to get an interrogation to stop, all you would need to do is say, "Hey, I want to talk to my lawyer."
And I did that. My lawyer was present with me.
Okay. I've got the clip where JD Huff said we have multiple dogs hit and we've got all of this based on evidence, it says.
And testimony. I mean, and that's what I'm really wondering is because like I said, this is just what I think. I think that you plan on being indicted like everybody else that was up there on those poster boards. And you're trying to get ahead of this thing, kind of get your story out there, which I don't blame you, but it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. I know it is. But what you're going to do is so since there's 4 different people involved, what's going to end up happening is you guys are all going to start throwing each other under the bus. You're kind of Brandon was the first one. Then it's you because you're out of jail now. And Adrian eventually at trial or whatever is happening here. But what I'm saying is I don't understand why anybody would tell the police that there's a kid buried in the yard to stop an interrogation. What good does that do? Did that help you in some way?
The probable
because why you wouldn't tell him that unless he was actually buried in that yard.
He wasn't.
He wasn't when they went back, but he was at one point, according to the dogs.
But the problem is how is he not? I mean, how is he not found? I mean, he obviously was in that yard at some point. Investigators and dogs and everyone picked it up. Now, maybe you didn't have nothing to do with it, but somebody at that house did. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And who was it?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling my side, because I know for a fact, and per the posters and the pictures and everything that I posted that I sent to Justin, like I had nothing to do with this boy's disappearance. I had no knowledge of him being buried. If he was buried, that's news to me. And what's weird about it is our neighborhood, like they have cameras that like from Sky Cam or whatever it is, that you can see into the backyard. There was no dig holes. My dog Oakley, it was a digger, but she dug right when you walked out the front patio where the dead spot is, where the barbecue was.
Mm-hmm. Now,
but it was dead because the barbecue we had 2 barbecues at the time, and one was sitting on the grass.
One of the things. Oh, sorry, Justin.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, one of the things that the dog would do is when they're sniffing in the yard, not only would they do that, at any point, if he was in the house at all, if Michael was in your house, the dogs would hit at the front porch. Did they?
No, not to my knowledge, no.
I think they hit beside the front porch.
Oh, okay. So that would indicate that he was near the house. So Michael, I mean, let's just be honest here. Michael was around that house.
Huh?
Michael was around that house. The dogs aren't going to hit just for no reason unless you buried somebody else back there.
I don't know. I have no information to give to that. Like I told everybody and anybody on here, if I knew something about this, because I am in no way okay with abducting a child, killing him, burying him. I would bury somebody else for doing that to somebody like that.
Now,
Right.
the probable
I
cause
would be-
affidavit, it says that you spoke to them while you were not in custody about this.
I gave them permission
Okay, maybe that's what
to
that
search the house when Sarah got arrested.
Mhm.
I didn't get arrested. She got arrested April 13th of 2022. I got arrested May 6th of 2022.
Okay. All right.
Do you expect to be indicted for this?
I was going to ask, yeah.
I mean,
If I am-
obviously, you have an idea that you're probably, or else you wouldn't be doing this. I mean, let's just. I've seen
Doing
this
this to
before.
to tell my side of the story. And if I'm indicted, they've got a long road ahead of them with going to trial.
Well, I mean, not really. If you told him that he was in the yard, I mean, you're going to be charged with lying to investigators if that's what you did, and that's a serious crime too.
And if I am, I am. I own up to that.
This
take
is in
accountability.
October. Prosecutors on the investigation over Michael says, quote, I expect to charge it.
I mean, they put 4 posters up of people, and I'm not saying you don't have the right to defend yourself. You absolutely
You
do. And
absolutely-
if you have
yeah.
nothing to do with this, all that should come out eventually. But
Chronicles, you're the best. Hold on. You said 26 minutes. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be epic.
You know, what do you think?
Hold on just a second here. I'm in an interview right now, so I'm gonna have to do this real quick. I think that she couldn't have kids because her husband Stacy said that he got his nuts crushed in a bull riding rodeo accident or whatever. Blah
He's so eloquent.
blah blah blah. He said he used to bull ride and a bull stepped on his thing and crushed it, so he couldn't have him.
So he couldn't give her a child then.
Right, and he wanted a kid, and she really didn't.
Oh, she didn't want a child.
No, she didn't really want to have a kid. To him.
So
He said he used to bull ride a bull and have to do this. Hold on just a second here. I'm in an interview right now, so I'm gonna have to do this real quick.
I turn it up here.
I think that she couldn't have kids because her husband Stacy said that he got his nuts crushed in a bull riding rodeo accident or whatever. Blah blah.
So he says that Stacy told him. So he told that Stacy, this Stacy Wander right here, was bull riding. He used to be a bull rider, and he got his nuts smashed by a bull in a bull riding accident. That's oh man.
I don't know. I'm not really sure why. I just don't. I can't get past like how you would just say, hey, yeah, he's in the
It
yard.
is. It really is, Dr. Gary.
I literally made that up.
And
There was
then
no-
dogs
nothing
literally hit
behind it.
on human decomposition.
Yeah, that's the problem is
I have problems, dude. I got the,
if you made it,
Literally.
How you
I am so mean.
would just say, hey, yeah, he's in the yard.
I literally made that up.
And
There was
then
no-
dogs
nothing
literally hit
behind it.
on human decomposition.
yeah, that's the problem is
Stacy told me he got his nuts crushed by a bull because he used to ride bulls back in the day.
if you made it up.
And I told
And-
him you need to stop watching so much TV and not eat so many potato chips. We should go walking because you're gonna die.
He was actually in the backyard. I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Stacey?
I feel you, and I get that. But
And that's like that's a hell of a
I
coincidence.
gave him a direction. Okay, this is where I know that it was a lie, because that dog may have hit in the backyard, but the direction and area that I pointed to him, the dogs did not hit around
What?
at that house in the backyard. I told them he was literally buried directly across from the patio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who do you think did this?
I don't know.
Is
I
it
know
somebody- do you
I
think
know
it was somebody in
Adrian
the
has.
house?
I know Adrian has, according to detectives and what I've been told by them, that Adrian has a huge
Shout
history
out to
of
Linda.
human trafficking. So I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh.
But the matter of the fact is
Well, hold on one second. We gotta check in with
Here, I'm
Brandon here.
right now, so I'm gonna have to do this real quick. I think that she couldn't have kids because her husband Stacy said that he got his nuts crushed in a bull riding rodeo accident or whatever. Blah blah blah. He said he used to bull ride and a bull stepped on his thing and crushed it, so
He's like describing it like a 4-year-old.
he couldn't have them.
So he couldn't give her a child then.
Right, and he wanted a kid, and she really didn't.
Oh, she didn't want a child.
No, she didn't really want to have a kid, but he was trying to push that on her.
So is it possible? Okay, so you're with
Nah, it's whatever you're gonna ask is not possible. Stacy liked to drive. He liked to drive taxis because his nuts got crushed in a bull riding accident. He used to ride bulls back in the day. So stupid.
he would get away with doing something like that because I have no knowledge of any of this.
Okay. All right. Let me just play this. And
Stacy, better quitting eating them tater chips. You gonna die, boy, 'cause you already got your nuts crushed by a bull because you was a bull rider. Wore chaps and everything.
this was
Assless chaps.
what they said.
Everybody,
on
I
that
just
day.
wanted to start out by saying thank you,
Let me.
investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop.
Chief Huff, good man.
During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland.
Can you pause that for a
As a
second?
result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search.
Why it says that they received credible information. So that's based on your tip alone, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was just checking.
Okay.
search warrant for the residents along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah
Why can't Chris is standing directly behind come on, Chris. Peek your head out.
Wandra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report.
That's what I was thinking that Stacy got his nuts roasted on an open fire by a bull because he was riding a bull. He was a bull rider back in the day. That's at least what he said. He used to drink milk while he did it. He's a bull rider. A bull rider. He got his nuts roasted.
That death to law
What would the probable cause be?
enforcement.
Him.
The following day, the Fruitland Police Department joined
Did anybody catch that? They said, what would the probable cause be? Him. He's the one that did that.
by of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law
What would the probable cause be?
enforcement.
Him.
That guy right there. See him?
Following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wanderer's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property.
Stacy was actually in the nutcracker. He was the nuts. The bull was the cracker.
This.
All of them alerting to the presence of human remains.
All of them.
So that's
Good.
That's where the problem,
Right.
that's where the story really starts to fall apart for you. Is you're saying that I made this up, but then you have multiple dogs. Every dog that was there.
Dr. Gary, it's I mean, come on. It's Christmas time. It's time to roast the nuts,
Hit.
chestnuts and crackers. Nut crackers.
They're not hitting. I mean, you can bring them to my backyard right now. I can make up a lie. They're not going to hit, and they're not going to dig up my yard. I mean, you understand that.
Penetrating radar was also used.
Sorry. Good.
Oh, that's it. I was just wondering.
I just want to finish this little
And
bit right here.
deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard.
I agree.
We completed the excavation
And that's where something has been dug and, the ground isn't as firm.
of the entire backyard and removed over 200.
The DA dropped charge. They haven't. They none of them have been charged except for, I believe, Sarah for not reporting a death to law enforcement that she was aware of, and they pulled that back because she had other charges, and this case really, the district attorney really needs to try this case.
50 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased. And that
Based on evidence.
In all honesty and in all seriousness, I would agree with you if it wasn't Stacy, because Stacy is not a good person. So I don't care about his testicles.
his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing.
I mean,
Sarah wanted a baby, right?
She wanted a baby.
Did she take Michael?
I have no idea.
I mean, she's your wife. You would have some
Sarah
idea.
was also very deceitful and hid everything from me. She had a fucking gun she held Tanner Butler up at gunpoint with.
Mhm.
I had no idea or any knowledge about the gun that she had, because Randy Strickland, who was staying with us, asked her to not tell me about it because I was a felon.
Mm-hmm. Is that
And
what
he
you got in
trusted her
trouble
more
for?
than me. Huh?
Is
I
that
got
what
accused for having my own gun.
Does he bring up the nuts here?
Right. Well, the
Were
main
you
thing
offered a deal, like a cooperation deal?
I just kept. Sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to keep cutting you off.
They offered this before they dug the yard, and they said that they would give me a 15+7, but in the condition that I would tell them where the body is. And I said, I don't know where the body is.
Currently, or you did in the past?
I have never known where the body is.
Somebody in the chat just said that Adrian was left with a duffel bag. You know anything about that?
No, never even knew that he had a duffel bag with him. He had a backpack.
So you unequivocally, absolutely never at any point in your life have seen Michael Vaughan. Never.
I don't even know who this kid was. And that's deep down honest to God with everything in my heart. I have no idea. I've never seen this kid. I didn't even know he existed. I didn't know who Tyler and Brandy were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I've never seen that kid in my day of my life.
Okay, so Brandon had a duffel bag. Excuse me. What did Brandon have? What was Brandon doing with the duffel bag?
He had his clothes in it. Like, I watched him when.
So I said the wrong person. I said Adrian had a duffel bag, and then he knew I was talking what duffel bag I was talking about, and decided to just ignore it, and then finally got it corrected.
We went to go tow the car. I watched him have an empty duffel bag. It was empty. And I watched him fill it with all of his clothes that he had at our house.
Was it your duffel bag?
No, it was his.
So you're not missing a duffel bag?
Not at all.
Okay.
What about underneath the house?
There
The
was
crawl
a crawl space, but that crawl space literally it was in the walk-in closet from our bathroom.
Right.
That literally had an empty Savage Arms old box from an old 17 that I had.
Okay.
Did a dog hit at Brandon's house?
Did anybody hear that burp?
Uh,
I think it was big.
Did a dog hit at Brandon's house?
Jesus.
I don't know.
Okay.
Did a dog hit at Brandon's house?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't confirm that because I've been told things through lives, like doing YouTube lives, but I've never heard anything from the police. No.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any further questions, like Eve that does the same thing you guys do, has literally covered this whole case extensively, like thoroughly. And she just wanted me to point out to you guys, like, if you have questions like skeptibilities or whatever, to literally go to her. Like, she has the police
Skeptibilities.
reports, she has everything.
I just don't understand why you would lie to the feds about saying that there's a body in the backyard.
You have to understand it coming from my point of view and my mental disability that I suffer with, like, not as an excuse, but
What's your mental disability?
I have fetal alcohol syndrome. I have Asperger's. I have autism, which is Asperger's. I have bipolar, intermittent explosive disorder. Now, mind you, 98% of those I've overcome being in group homes my whole life. But people that have fetal alcohol syndrome, it is very common that people get put in very pressured situations and the instant reaction just to give something to get them to back off.
And you're right. But the problem is what you told them is what they have evidence that there was someone in the backyard.
Okay, but they did not specify where the dogs hit. They said they hit in the backyard. I told them where it made up again, where he was buried, which was directly across when you walk out the back patio door. It was directly straight across, right in the middle of the fence, in the middle of the yard. They didn't specify where he was hit. They said that they dug by the shed and that the dogs had hit around the shed area. That's what I've been told. I know, and if you read their report, or you probably can pull it up.
I know. Yeah, her and I went back and forth on this for ever.
She literally, I don't know if it's accessible or not, but I know for a fact that when I gave them that location, they literally, I watched it on video when they were digging at that spot. Detective was on the phone with me.
Mm-hmm.
They dug nothing up. The dogs did not hit in that spot. I watched them.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that he was in the yard.
I said he was in that direct spot, but he was never there. Clearly,
Well, he was in that yard somewhere at one point.
Somewhere, probably. I don't know. I have nothing. I don't have knowledge of it.
Well,
Like
I mean,
said,
you didn't pull that out of thin air. Maybe
Yes,
Adrian told you, maybe
Yes, I
Sarah told you, maybe Brandon told you.
But this is exactly why it's hard for me to do these lies, because people are gonna try to judge me and say that I literally didn't. I had something to do with it. I don't know. I have nothing.
I would hate to listen to my snarky ass as well, to be honest with you. Hey, how's it going? I was snarky.
I don't have knowledge of it.
Well, like I mean, you didn't pull that out of thin air. Maybe
Yes,
Adrian told you, maybe
Yes,
Sarah told you, maybe Brandon told you.
But this is exactly why it's hard for me to do these lies, because people are gonna try to judge me and say that I literally didn't. I had something to do with it. My question to you is why, when they did a polygraph test and I answered every question they asked me about Michael's disappearance, why on earth would I pass that polygraph?
Well,
you don't just get a false positive on a polygraph.
Well, but the thing is, I'm going to throw something back at you after if you are taking heavy medications and
I haven't taken any medication,
and you have these,
I haven't taken medication for years.
Well, do you have proof that you passed a polygraph?
They can probably, you can probably get it in the affidavit
Because I
somewhere.
mean, you can't
I
use it in
can
a
tell
court of
you
law
that
anyway.
three people talked to me about my polygraph, including the guy that did the polygraph in the Meridian Police Department, the Highway Patrol. The
Mhm.
guy that did the polygraph told me, he asked, how do you feel you did? And I said, I was honest about everything. He goes, you're right, you did.
Yes.
And then later on, I talked to the detectives. They also verified. Scott Crimmen was also at the Meridian Highway Patrol during my testing. He also said that I passed my polygraph.
Did
Anita,
Sarah pass?
no. According to what I'm being told, no. I don't have confirmation. I'm hearing that from my mom and what the detectives told my mom because Sarah was married to me.
So here's a common occurrence in these kinds of cases is that people want to give information, but they don't want to implicate themselves. They want to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Sarah not passing, but you passing. 3 other people may know what have happened, but I don't know what happened. And then you see what I'm saying, and you see where I'm going with it. I'm not trying to be rude and trip you up here. I'm just saying you pulling that out of thin air is almost impossible.
And it's not impossible for me.
I said almost impossible.
Okay, and I believe that. Okay, almost impossible, yeah. But for me, it wasn't impossible. If
I mean,
if you literally sat there, you would see how literally like how on the verge of tears I was because I'm being interrogated so hard and so rough. And I told them the same exact thing the very first 4 interviews before the last one, before when I told them about where he was in the backyard. I told them the same exact thing that I've told everybody else. I have never met this kid a day in my life. I've never seen him. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him disappearing, any of that.
Do you know what day they gave you the polygraph on?
What, David?
Do you know what day they gave you the polygraph?
It was May 18th, I believe. It was literally the day that I got
polygraph test. He's lying.
Got my case dropped for felon in possession out of state when the feds picked it up.
Okay, so while you so you're basically lying to them while you're on the phone with them while they're digging up the backyard.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. Now, see, the thing about the day is like you're saying that you and Sarah and Brandon went to Cuna. Now, the thing with Brandon's story, which he's saying that him and Stacy got home and they went to the gas station.
Him and Sarah?
Or Sarah, sorry. Him and Sarah went to the gas station at 7 o'clock.
No.
And it's like somebody's lying here. Somebody's lying. And
they never went to the gas station. We left in our truck to go tow his car upon his request.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you stop at 8th in Arizona again? I'm just curious about that.
To put power steering fluid in the truck. And it wasn't directly on Arizona Street. It was probably about 50, 60, maybe 70 feet, 80, maybe 100 feet behind Arizona, like before Arizona Street. Literally right after you turn left out of our subdivision to go on 8th Street is where we pulled off.
Was Brandon with you?
Yes.
And so when you did that, just about the time that Michael goes missing, you understand that, right? Just kind of coincidental too.
I don't know what else to tell you guys. I've told everything. I've told everything.
Look, I've asked everything that I need. And I know some people are saying, "Oh, Josh, you're being mean." I don't think I am. I'm just asking questions. And I'll let you finish up, Justin.
No, I don't think you're being mean. And I mean, I think we're trying to find out what's going on here, and that's the thing. There's 4 different people saying 4 different things. What time were you on 8th and with the power steering fluid?
I don't have an exact time. Like I said, it's probably
But the problem is, like, why do you need to stop right then and put power steering fluid in?
because when Sarah made the left turn, the whining on the truck, when you have low in power steering fluid and your power steering is low in fluid, it will cause an extensive whine. And it literally sprays everywhere.
Brandon
So we
is
literally
supposed to be in
knew
chat.
we were making the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So we had stopped literally just for the sole purpose of putting power steering fluid in. I had got out on the passenger side of the truck. Sarah popped the hood. I opened the hood, opened power steering reservoir, poured power steering fluid in, closed the cap on the power steering fluid, walked back around to the passenger side truck, and we left.
Are you guys on CCTV anywhere?
Yeah, they have that picture as well. They have that.
They have what?
They have the picture of us stopping on 8th Street. They have the video. It was CCTV. That was also recorded. They showed that to me.
But has anybody known that? Is this the first time you're telling that?
Nobody's asked me about it, but I told them everything.
Oh, I didn't. I was just wondering if you were on CCTV at all that day, but they have you on CCTV on 8th in Arizona.
Yes, correct.
With Brandon in the car.
Correct. And Sarah.
Oof. I mean,
And
that's a major problem, right?
That day. Hold on. You saw a boy that day as well, didn't you? You said
Yes,
you saw a boy.
further down 8th Street on the very right-hand side in somebody's yard. And he didn't look anything like Michael at any point in time.
Okay.
We didn't ever even approach the kid.
Did the boy you saw have a yellow shirt on?
It was a bright shirt, correct. From what I remember. It was shorts and a bright shirt. And he was a lot taller than the 5-year-old boy. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
So who put the power steering fluid in?
I did.
So you're on video getting out.
Correct.
And is Stacy with you at this time? I mean, Sarah?
Sarah? Yes, she's driving the truck. She was in the driver's seat the whole time. Brandon was in the back seat the whole time. I was the only one to get out of the truck as it's on video and recording, and the video shows me putting power steering fluid in the truck.
They showed it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Directly after this, he looks me up on Facebook and just it's like, F you, mother effer, la, 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 you know.
When is the next time you put power steering fluid in that day? You know?
I didn't have to put it until the next day.
Okay.
I usually had to fill up the truck once a day with power steering fluid.
Was that the only place that you're on CCTV?
No, I was on CCTV at the splash pad.
Yes, he was at the splash pad at. I've got.
Is that common? Was that common? I'm sorry, I didn't know if that's common knowledge or not.
No, that's proof. I saw proof from the detectives. They showed me the video.
You knew that, Justin? You knew that he was on video?
Yeah. Yep, he's on video there at the splash pad getting out of his truck. He says car rather getting his snuff.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I heard that. So what happened was that you dropped your chew, you got out, you got it at the splash pad. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I appreciate you answering my questions. I know they come off fast, and that's just how I think and talk. So
it's okay, man. Like I said, I'm just here literally to tell my side of things. Because if there's one person that's going to tell the truth, it's me. I remember verbatim. I have timestamps that were pulled up on the maps that Justin can show you if you want to see them, or I can send them to you directly.
But I would like a screen recording of that, just so that little.
I don't know how to screen record on my phone. I have no idea how to do that. 100% honest. I just got this phone, so
I'll teach you.
So did you guys go to Brandon's house that day?
Correct.
And then so here's another problem. If the dogs hit in the yard at your house. You guys are headed over to Brandon's and the
Right.
dogs hit there too. I mean, obviously there's a body that's being transported back and forth, and they're assuming that it's Michael. That's why you guys are suspects. Right?
So to be, yes.
Yes.
But like I said, have.
Is it possible that he was right? I mean, obviously,
You're telling me that this guy knows nothing and he just lied to Brandy over and over and over. Listen to what he says. Let me at him, dude.
there's a body that's being transported. If
At
and then
night, no idea how to do that.
I'll
Or I
send
can
it to you,
send them
John.
to you directly.
But
Like,
I would like a screen recording of that, just so that little.
I don't know how to screen record on my phone. I have no idea how to do that. 100% honest.
Yeah, right.
I just got this phone, so
I'll teach you.
so did you guys go to Brandon's house that day?
correct.
And
At
then
night.
so here's another problem. If the dogs hit in the yard at your house, you guys are headed over to Brandon's and the
Right.
dogs hit there too. I mean, obviously there's a body that's being transported back and forth, and they're assuming that it's Michael. That's why you guys are suspects. Right?
So to be, yes.
Yes.
But like I said, have.
Is it possible that he was they covered this up with you being in the truck, that Michael was with them
Not
and
at
you
all.
didn't know about it?
Not at all. Because the only thing that got put in the truck,
Listen to what he just admitted.
we all
Being
walked
forth and the
Right.
dogs hit in the yard at your house. You guys are headed over to dogs. Oh, so here's another problem. If the dogs hit in the yard at your house,
I don't even
you guys are headed over to Brandon's and the
Right.
dogs hit there too. I mean, obviously there's a body that's being transported back and forth, and they're assuming that it's Michael. That's why you guys are suspects. Right?
So to be, yes.
Yes.
But like I said, have.
Is it possible that he was they covered this up with you being in the truck, that Michael was with them
Not
and
at
you
all.
didn't know about it?
Not at all. Because the only thing that got put in the truck, we all walked out together. The only thing that Brandon had in his hand was a duffel bag full of his clothes. I watched him fill his duffel bag up
10
with
months
clothes.
ago.
It was empty, keep in mind. Watched him fill the duffel bag up, watched him put it in the truck. We all walked out together. The only thing that Sarah had in her hand was her purse.
Yeah.
And a grocery bag that had 2 or 3 Diet Pepsis in it.
Was Sarah? She was seen carrying a kid. Was she ever?
No.
And so
The only-
that's what you told police, though. That's that.
Yes.
You're telling the same thing. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
There's nothing that I have said on my lives that I have not told the detectives. Just so everybody's aware.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I just don't like. I don't know how. Look, I don't care what you do. You can talk, do whatever you want. But I mean, he filled. So the duffel bag was filled up with clothes. He had that many clothes.
He literally had a stack of clothes, a pile of clothes. And it wasn't a huge duffel bag, keep in mind. It was literally a medium duffel bag.
It's all it takes is a medium duffel bag, though. To be honest with you, I mean, it's. Listen. I used to work in a funeral home, so I know what it. How
I know,
how
and
small.
I'm telling you, I'm verifying on Brandon's behalf.
So I have it on good authority that not only was this entire live downloaded, but that law enforcement detectives from Fruitland, multiple, were watching this live.
I was a witness to
They were loving it.
him filling up his duffel bag when it was completely empty the whole time I was in the living room when he was doing this.
Yeah.
He didn't have a bedroom that he was staying in. He slept in the living room on the couch all the time. I have
Well, okay.
pictures of him sleeping on the couch with my dog.
Did dogs ever hit on that truck?
No, not at all.
How did they search that truck,
Yes.
or did you
Sure.
sell that truck?
Do they still have your? Wait
Wait
your
a minute. Wait,
vehicle?
Justin. Wait, Justin.
That
Did you
truck-
sell the
that-
truck?
No, the truck was repoed.
Oh, how long after Michael went missing?
It was July, I don't know, it was like August 2nd or something like that.
Got him.
August 3rd, but it was repoed by,
Got him again.
yes.
Sorry, Justin.
No, sleeping on the couch with my dog.
Did dogs ever hit on that truck?
No, not at all.
How did they search that truck,
Yes.
or did you
Sure.
sell that truck?
Do they still have your? Wait
Wait
your
a minute. Wait,
vehicle?
Justin. Wait, Justin.
That
Did you
truck-
sell the
that-
truck?
No, the truck was repoed.
Oh, how long after Michael went missing?
It was July, I don't know, it was like August 2nd or something like that. August 3rd, but it was repoed and the detectives went and picked up the truck for evidence.
Okay.
How did it make Stacy feel to find out his lie was proven true when law enforcement started excavating?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I regret lying to him, but at the same point,
I mean,
I don't have any information for this little boy. I want to. I want to get whoever it is that did this in trouble. I want this little boy to come home to his mother and dad, mom and dad.
Oh, sweet.
1,000,000%, time and time over.
oh, he's going.
There's
to.
not a day that goes by that I don't get up in tears. I don't get up wishing that this little boy would be found for his family.
I don't believe that either.
Like,
You didn't
I
have a wash
heart.
machine at your house,
We had a washing machine at the house, correct.
so why did you go to his mom's house?
Brandon just said that he needed to go to his house anyways to get new clothes.
But that
So
doesn't
he
make
was just
sense.
going to do his. You're right, it doesn't, but that's what Brandon said.
So what it sounds like, just personally to me, is if you're putting the pieces together and he's got a duffel bag, dogs hit at your house, dogs hit at his house. It sounds like he used that duffel bag for something else.
I'm personally telling you and everybody on here, like I said just a couple minutes ago, I watched him put everything from an empty duffel bag, like
Sure.
the duffel bag was empty. There was nothing in it at the start. Nothing.
Oh, so he didn't take any clothes out of there?
N-
There wasn't a pile of clothes at the house, or he didn't swap stuff
No,
out?
that's what I'm saying. No, you're just missing what I'm saying. Yes. When
Okay.
he first came staying with us, he emptied the duffel bag. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When he loaded the duffel bag, it was again empty. There was nothing.
Where did he
in
put
it
his clothes? Do you have a dresser
on
at
the
your
side
house?
of the couch? On the side of the couch.
Instead of leaving them in the bag?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, he must have been in jail way too long.
He's done a few jail times. Correct.
So he took clothes from your house that you had a perfectly good washer and dryer from and drove it 30 minutes away
40.
to use his mom's washer.
Correct. Why? I don't know. But
I-
we also were at a point with Brandon where we were just like, want to argue with him. Brandon was unreasonable a lot with us.
Yeah.
He owed us so much fucking money. I mean, for everything we've helped him pay his phone bill multiple times, helped him with his car insurance when he had his car up and running.
And did law enforcement, do they have this bag?
I don't know. I, again, have not talked to the detective since November of 2022.
Has anybody threatened you? That's a part of this?
I mean, I received multiple things on Messenger, but I don't even respond to them.
Well, I'm
I
talking
do-
about from like Adrian or Brandon.
Oh, no, I
or
don't talk. I
Sarah.
haven't talked to Adrian. I haven't heard from Brandon. I haven't heard. Sarah called me a couple times trying to get me to stay with her. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Do you suspect her?
I have never seen, I would never think that Sarah would have something to do or do something like that. No.
Well, that's a lot of people though. That
Yeah, I mean, but it's his wife. I mean, I get that. I get, no, you don't want that, but so
Trust me,
does she wear the pants?
I have no reason to throw Sarah. I have no reason not to throw Sarah under the bus. I would
Well,
throw her
yeah,
under the
you
bus for
kind
her
of do.
being-
You kind of
this is
do
your
because
life.
if you have any knowledge at all, it's
no,
it's
no,
accessory
that's what
after
I'm
the
saying.
fact.
If I had any knowledge at all, I would have been the first person with no hesitation to
Gotcha.
let law enforcement know about any information I knew about him.
Right.
Like I told that in every video, I told the cops that. I said, look, any information, if I had any knowledge, forehand knowledge, I would have been the first to tell you guys. Anything I knew.
These people are so stupid. Why is this guy being interrogated by Josh if he couldn't take it from Ellie? I'm sure they weren't as pushy as Josh.
I was honest with them, just like I'm being honest here. I told them the same exact thing that I'm telling everybody on my lives.
Yeah, Dr. Gary.
There's nothing, not one thing that has changed.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, after you tell a story so many times, and it has been a while, I don't know if there are discrepancies or not. I've seen a couple of them, but I do know that there are a couple discrepancies. But what you've told here, I mean, seems like you're kind of walking us through what happened, but you're
Exactly.
leaving out the part
Right.
of, well, look, there was obviously something, at least with those two going on, Brandon and your wife. If she agreed to drive him to his mother or to his mother's house to do laundry for God knows what reason, why he's taking his clothes out of his duffel bag, setting them next to the couch. Where, like when he walked in to stay with you guys, where did he set? He brought that duffel bag with him.
Hold on a minute. He said in his interview, he said that he was just spending the night with you.
No, Brendan stayed with us on multiple nights.
Well, in his
he stayed with us for months.
In his interview, he said he had just spent the night with you guys that night.
No, he is completely wrong. That's one of the reasons he owes us so much money. He's in debt with us over $1,000. He agreed to pay us rent.
He's
for
called,
staying with us.
He said that, and this is his words, Stacey, it's not mine, but he said you were a nice guy, but you were a serial liar, is what he said. That's his words.
No. We say no.
My point is this. I'm the one that's provided timestamps of that night in question.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Brandon's timestamps? He's very capable of finding some way or somehow to log into his old emails, to find pictures of videos that were timestamped that night.
But if you're saying he was with you
the
entire time,
correct.
There's
Flophouse, exactly.
You're telling them that there's a child
off. I'm gonna play a little bit of, and I might just if they don't mind, I might tomorrow go over it during the day on the lab if anybody's interested. But I do want to play a little bit of it here. All right. Share this one. And remember, this is missing PNW Crimes Revisited. I got to get some sleep. My grandbaby has a winter show at school today, and it's 4 a.m. where I am. Good night, everyone. Enjoy. That's cute.
Nothing you can say to any of it's like completely laughable.
Samantha in the house.
You're such a frigging coward. You're such a coward you can't even grab a link to get up here.
He is a coward.
Come on up.
Yeah, bring him up.
See, she was at the Fruitland Police Department till 6 p.m. Have found out about you, about
Okay.
Sarah, and disease. She's gonna need
front of the panel, go in front of them.
to stay. Well, the chat's just lawyer.
Okay, here.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit actually.
Well, I'm just handing you over the stage so you can say what you need to. Looks like you're fumbling around trying to get some stuff ready, so I'll give you a moment.
Damn it. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, dummy.
What? Like, I'm sorry, Brandy, that Michael went missing. I don't know,
This is from
nor do I have any idea,
this is from tonight.
or have I had any idea of what happened to him. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through, and I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. I wish I had more information to give. I know, I see it. Give me a minute.
Like me much right now.
And I get that. Cooperative. And that's the thing. On the state freely and openly, knowing that there was no involvement.
I'm not seeing. Hey, here's Brandy. Madden her up now.
Jesus. I don't even know if I can watch this.
Hi. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Brandy. How are you feeling?
This is not well.
I'm sorry, honey.
Hello, Mr. Wandra.
You can just prove I'm my name. It's okay. We're all.
It's my preference.
I got you.
What's wrong with Mr. Wandra? Stupid. This just happened tonight. And Linda put the link for Pacific Northwest Missing Cases Revisited. Check them out. They do wonderful work on Michael's case, and I'm a big fan of their show. Good people.
I have so many questions. So many. One, your lawsuit and slander. It's
Laughable.
not slander if you're a named suspect. Correct?
Not a named suspect. That was the media that fucking got that twisted.
Excuse me, named suspect.
Can't hear you very good, Stacy, and I think it's because you've got your things in. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Let us know if you can hear both of them, please, in chat. And then I'm just going to hand over the stage to both of you guys.
By the way, and Samantha is just doing the absolute most professional thing. She understands that this is personal and a long time coming, and handles it with grace and class, and so I really do appreciate that. I don't know if people if people will catch that, but I'm sure some will, and maybe others won't, but I know exactly what you're doing, and I know why you're doing it, and
nothing but respect.
So, Stacy, why did you contact law enforcement and say that you gave that tip about Michael being buried in your backyard?
I never contacted them. It was when they had approached me at about the 5th interview that I had with them. After
So
telling
was
them the same exact statement that I've given them the last 4 times.
I've
If
been
you
trying
had,
to put like a timeline of everything together. Like from your recollection of that
This is what a parent of a missing child does. This right here.
day with what I've seen you do with the internet with YouTube creators and stuff. I've tried to watch all of them, and you talk about your timelines and everything, and then you've discussed about your timeline with law enforcement. I'm just curious because you're stating all these different times in all these different people, these different people's interviews. I'm sorry, you have to forgive me right now. I'm very, very sick. My mental
I
fog is
know,
absolutely hell. And honestly speaking with you is,
not easy.
no, sir,
I
it is
don't
not
blame you.
easy.
I don't believe you. I mean, I don't blame you. Like, Brandy, I've been trying to talk to you for like a minute, and I know it's taken a lot out.
And Stacy, you cut out.
Sorry.
There you go.
Like, I know it's not easy talking to me, Brandy, and it's not, you know, it's never gonna be easy talking to me because and all you've heard is my videos that I've done with either law enforcement or done on YouTube, but I've never directly spoken with you. Like, I need you to know, Brandy, I didn't have anything to do with your little boy, nor did Sarah, and nor did Brandon.
Oh shit! Really?
We would never
Really? We're gonna go there.
never allow ourselves to be involved or play a part in something as serious as like this, let alone yeah, I have a felony history, but guess what? My felony history doesn't pertain to sex offense crimes. I have 2 federal gun charges and 4 state felonies, 1 in Idaho and 3 in Oregon.
Nobody was talking about sex offense crimes. Who brought that up? Oh my God.
Like
Who? We're talking about kidnapping. We're talking about kidnapping. And you went there.
like I want your boy to be found just as much as everybody else does. It's not fair. And I wish that, that he could be brought back to be reunited with you because that's what you deserve.
I mean, I've never heard. Like, listen to the way Brandy's not falling. Brandy, trust me.
I wish that I could magically make him come back for you.
I agree with you. I certainly do.
Like,
hey, no.
Like, I hurt every day because I feel for you guys. And if I could make some fucking magic happen, I would. If I could fucking automatically just play the the psychic detective, I would. I don't have anything to give you, Brandy. And I'm sorry you're suffering.
You know what, dude? You don't have anything to give. You fucking asshole.
I'm sorry you're sick.
Oh my God. Sorry.
I wish you didn't have to be sick because it's not fucking fair. Huh?
I'm asking Brandy if she's there.
I don't have anything to give her. How about give her the real story about what happened to her son? Tell the truth. But you lie. You just like the fact that you could just sit here and lie, which I know that you're doing to Brandy's face, proverbial face.
But tonight and tomorrow. That's it. Okay. I cannot run out.
Do you have any more questions?
Oh, I bet she does.
Randy, you can ask me any questions you want.
Shut up, Stacy.
You want me to have something?
I can only give you the truth, and everything that I've said before. There's no difference to it. I wish I had answers to give you directly, other than what you have already said.
Oh, I got kicked. Ah, I'm behind. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
What is that?
Why do I have another Brandy Neal trying to pop up? Did you try popping up twice?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Drop that other one.
Drop the other one? Okay. Hold on a second.
Fucking A. You had a pastor. I thought he
Here we go.
came in.
All right, you're there and we can hear you now. Somebody got people talking in the background. Is that your house, Brandy?
No, it's me. I'm out in the shelter.
Oh, okay. I know you're having a hard time talking, Brandy, and I'm sorry.
Randy, it's okay. You can ask me your questions when you're ready.
It's like when the devil tells you it's okay. It's okay. It's not. I'm getting that creepy ass. It's okay. Shut the frig up. Nobody asked you.
I don't answer everything as honestly with an honest answer, but ask him when you're ready.
First, I was just over there and
Yes, 100%.
oh, he's probably. So, yeah, somebody probably requested.
Is there anything that you have to say maybe about Adrian or anything and his involvement in all this, or anything
I don't.
about Adrian?
I can't. All I know is that Adrian was the only one left home that night. Hold on a second.
No, you hold on a second.
Are you still there, Mama?
White hair, part of period. I don't know where it's.
No, she dropped out.
Yeah. I don't know that her link was good.
No, that's a lot.
She's coming, she said. She's still coming on. I just don't think maybe something was up with her link or something.
Like, I can't speak, and nor will I speak on Adrian's behalf because we weren't with him that night. But what I can also tell you is that I know from what
Matt says, I don't know if he had anything to do with little Michael Vaughan, but I do know he's one of the grossest people I've ever seen. say that he didn't have anything directly to do with it, which I don't believe at all. But he knows. He knows.
What the lawyer I spoke with and what he had confirmed is exactly everything that I've been trying to say and tell you guys that we have not had any involvement in this.
Oh, you're going to have fun.
Like, this is going on 3 fucking years,
Oh, yeah.
almost 3.5.
You know, it's just, I guess it's just crazy to me because I mean, you even have Sarah talking about, you know, Adrian's the one that did it to Michael and that you're the one who buried him. And then you're the one who says something about a tip in the backyard. So, I mean, these 3 things specifically tie both of you guys in somehow. I mean, why would you ever admit to?
Trust me, he's named a suspect very intentionally. This guy was the one that called in the tip to start this because he wanted to make a deal. So he said, I have some information, maybe, because he wanted Sarah to go down for this. That's where all this jumped off at. Because of him saying, hey, they didn't come to him. He went to them.
Any of that, if you didn't have some kind of.
But I never admitted to any of it. That's what you guys don't understand. Did you not hear any of like Sarah's shit when she got arraigned in court, where they initially charged her, and how she claimed to be me in court? Like, I'm not making justifications, nor am I protecting her. But she obviously had a lot of mental shit going on internally.
Mental shit internally? I mean, I don't think that you need to qualify it by saying it internally.
What I can tell you and what I can give you is what I've given you. I only speak for myself at this point.
Oh, yeah? This guy's like, he goes away for does a little time, and he comes out and he's Gandhi.
But I can
only speak for myself now.
Also tell you.
He got his nuts crushed by a bull. Whoa.
That Brandon.
Did you know that I got my nuts crushed by a bull? I used to bull ride.
And Sarah were with me that whole night.
Okay, here's Brandy. She's back again. Sorry, hon. I know it's hard to hear. He is at a shelter right now, so there's a little bit of voice going on.
Dude, Sarah is not the one, dude. I mean, Stacy is creepy, and all of those things that go along with that. Sarah is scary. I'm not a violent human, but Stacy makes me feel like I could get. Yeah, I'm telling you, he gives that vibe, you know. She's not a fun one.
In the background.
Okay. Am I echoing?
No,
you're not echoing.
Okay.
I'm only going to play a little bit more of this, and I think tomorrow I'll go over it on the lab. I did talk to Brandy as well, and it sounds like she wants to she wants to talk. She wants to come on and yeah. I mean, she wants people to know about this kind of stuff. She's the fact that this guy's out, you know, I'm sure it bothers her.
Take a few deep breaths, Brandy. We know that it's hard. We know.
It bothers her to the core, and it it's hard to say that it shouldn't, because it would me.
You can ask me any questions you want, Brandon. You can ask me anything you want, and I'm only going to give you the truth.
Oh my God. He's so used to just bullshitting people. Brandy's not buying it.
No. Give to Granny Smith. You don't want to bring it up fast? No, that's what you want.
Why are you lying? Who are you lying to? Me or law enforcement or the world?
I'm not lying to anybody. I haven't lied, Brandy. And that's the thing. Like, I don't have, nor have I had any involvement with something like this. Like,
However, not all of it is.
your boy deserves to come home to you.
I mean, look, man. I can't even imagine what she wants to do. And I can, sort of.
And I want nothing more than for him to come home to you and your family. Yeah, I'm on a video. Sorry. Like, I can only give you what I've given law enforcement, what I have given the world of YouTube. I wish that I could give you something more. I wish that I could be a psychic fucking detective or an investigator that could just tell you who's responsible for this.
Yeah, but the problem is you don't need to be any of that to tell them. Like, you're making up this like fairy tale. Like that there needs to be some sort of fairy tale world. Like, I wish that I could. You don't know, dude. You don't need to wish. You could do it. There's not a lot of things in life that you could do. This is one that you could do. And getting your nuts crushed riding a bull.
What I can tell you is it wasn't me, and it wasn't Sarah, and it wasn't Brandon.
It had all
I do too. I do too.
To bring it up to you. A big portion of it. Need a big portion.
You're stating right now that it was not you, nor Brandon, nor Sarah, nor Adrian?
I can't speak on Adrian's behalf. Adrian was the only one that was home at night.
That's got the most iron that it's.
But I also know that Adrian did not have access to any of our vehicles. We don't never left our vehicles or the keys
How do I get rid of
available
this
to him.
photo?
Say it again.
Yeah, look, and Don says he might actually have convinced himself he's innocent. Possibly, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know what happened. I mean, I don't think he can go as far as to convince himself that it never happened. I think that he somehow maybe believes that he's not as guilty or culpable as they are, and that helps him sleep at night and settles his milk belly or whatever. I don't know what he does, but he's just a fraud, just a phony, just the way he talks to her.
Again?
They steam it with steamed off the night. With steamed off on the.
He didn't hear that last question, Brandy. Could you repeat yourself?
I'm sorry. Is this better?
It's fine. It's just loud because there are a lot of people talking at the shelter where Brandon is.
Like I don't want to speak for Brandy, but I mean, if I were her at this point and he was in my face, I would choose violence, and I bet she would too.
You know what?
You say you can't speak for Adrian.
I don't know what I will be.
Okay.
Halloween.
Does Sarah take insulin?
Yes, she's insulin dependent.
We would assume that she's insulin dependent if she takes insulin. Thank you, Dr. Wandra.
How come
Make sure you get
Sarah
on
said you
spinach.
buried Michael in the backyard.
Dip it in a little bit of ranch. Olive.
How come what?
Or
How come
Yep.
Sarah said you buried Michael in the backyard?
Just like she said that her name was Stacy in court. Just like she went that said that the most highest God told me that Stacy did it. Just like the most highest God told me that he was buried in Carson's backyard.
Just like the most highest God said that you made up that we buried him in the backyard, but somehow dogs hit on it.
Does any of her fucking statements make sense? Because I'm pretty sure, Brandy, that I have told the same fucking, given the same.
I mean, it's just he's like cussing at her.
Same statement, given everything.
There's no question about it. I mean, this guy is a grade A puss, no question. I mean, he's a milk drinker, like at whatever age, like he drinks milk for pleasure.
And it's never, and I literally, when I've done the podcasting.
You didn't podcast, dude. You're not a podcaster.
That my information may not be 100% to the T, as this is almost a 3.5-year-old case.
1,240 days to be exact.
Hey, and I'm sorry that it's been that long. You should not have to go through what you're going through, Brandy.
Dude, I mean, this is typical abuser type, like shit, you know, like predator. You shouldn't have to go through this, Brandy. You know, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I'm sorry that I, stole your child and can't tell the truth. I'm sorry that it's been that long.
And I'm sorry that you are. And I'm sorry that you're suffering. Hell no. What is this? A fat kid joke? Okay, get away. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, well, no, go with the deflection. Were Sarah and Adrian making fake girl accounts to get, how do I say this? YouTube politically correct? Ladies of the night. How does that work? Yeah, is that okay, Sam?
Yeah. You say anything you want to, Mama.
Did you know about that, Stacey? Did you know Sarah and Adrian were making false accounts to get working women?
No, no, I did not. But I also know that Adrian had approached Sarah and said that he said that if you help me create fake accounts, that I'll pay you a percentage. And I remember telling Sarah specifically, don't fucking do it.
So you didn't have any involvement in them setting up fake accounts to meet guys and rob them because
not at all.
Smarter than you?
Not at all.
All right.
I wouldn't allow my.
I'm gonna go for the night. I highly recommend you go over there. Excuse me, and watch this in its entirety. I'll cover some of it tomorrow, and so head on over. The link. Let me put the link for the video, and if Linda could remind me, yes, absolutely, to put this description. Hold on, let me just. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Paste. And if you're watching the replay, I'll pin this sub up to them. They do. It's just they do great work, man. They really, really do. And you know, they're like me in the fact that when you have something like this happens, that it doesn't belong to us. Every interview that I've ever done with anybody that has a missing child or any sort of, I don't own those things. You know what I mean? That I don't own them. They're for everybody. And you know, that's how you know that Samantha's heart and her channel is pure. You know, they're great. So like I said, and I even told her this, the reason I became familiar with her channel was because of Chris McDonough. And he's a fan of their stuff, and he sent me something about them a while ago. And it was, you know, I subbed up and been subbed up ever since. And I watch most of the things that they do. So let's see. He does have dead eyes. Oops. All right. We will catch you guys. Like, well, check this out. Hold on. I'll show you something really fast before you go. Don't leave too fast. Don't haul out of here too fast. Okay, hold on. Ready? Somebody wants to say hi. Hold on. Where'd he go? Hold on. Ready? Hey. Look at his hat. It's the cutest thing ever. He said hi. Little Otis. Weedle Otis with his little hat. Don't even fit over his ear. He's such a peanut. Like that hat's like made for an elf. And it almost fits him because he has this little tiny peanut head. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. We'll do this as the outro. I don't know if they're I hope so. I hope they are. She's so funny. I have to get one of Macho, but I was trying to get a picture of Macho with a hat on, with like a Santa hat on, and every time I would get it on, he would shake it off just immediately. As soon as I take my hand, you know, he'd let me do it. He'd be like, and then all of a sudden he'd just shake it off, dude. Macho's like, I ain't having it. So, Macho and Otis. Yeah, he's pissed. Like, if you look at his face here, he's not happy. He's mad at me, but what's he gonna do? Nothing.
I support abortion.
I think that she was here earlier too. I hope she didn't hear that. All right, catch y'all later.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?